Okay, so we kind of stuck with no information here. So Skip, you went and looked at those structures. What'd you think?
Down to Hapswell?
Yeah.
That's a pedestrian facility. There's no commercial people that use that. It's a side by side. It's nice and clean. It's brand new, but it's not anything that will work for us.
Okay.
The doors are just roll down doors to keep the weather out. I mean, the openings aren't big enough to back up to. They don't allow anybody to back up to it. Not even regular people. They got maybe one or two one-ton trucks with boxes on them. They don't even let them back up to them. They have to hand everything in there. It's a pedestrian unit. I was up there with a friend of mine who I delivered scallops to last week. He used to be on the board of directors there. I don't think it's anything we want.
Hey, Skip.
Doesn't fit us.
Oh, I'm mute.
You're muted, Paul.
Oh, you're muted.
Paul, you're on mute.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I believe that Todd, that wouldn't be the design. He talked about a higher design so that you'd back right up to it as you do right now. So it's what you saw is the concept. It's not the actual design. That would be whichever site it's at the transfer station. So he would make it totally enclosable, and yet when the doors are open, you back up with commercial trucks and you dump your load. So he addressed that right out the gate.
That's what our building is, Paul. We're not here to do a redesign at this point. We're trying to work on the design that we have.
I understand that.
Do you?
I do. I also understand that the cost, you don't really show all the costs that it ultimately will be, and there's already not enough money in it to build what they're showing. And I'll add one more thing, and then you can all jump in, is I think that you need some real clarification. When you heard last week that there was only $125,000 savings by removing the building, both I and the contractor who's the window Ken, who went down there and looked at that property, that's not reality. That's not the whole list of what the cost of that building is. It's considerably more than that when you add in the footers and the foundation and all the other detail that goes with it. I think what we ought to ask from the contractor is what I'm used to either giving as a contractor or receiving as a project manager, which is a breakdown, a line item breakdown of all the costs that go into a project. That's standard procedure, although I haven't seen one yet with this project. And that would enable you to see where you could save money and what you're actually being charged for the different aspects of the job, what they put in there for the electrician and what they put in there for everything else. But $125,000 for the building, that's not realistic. That's way less than that building cost.
We have people working on this.
Good.
And we're not here to redesign. And I'm going to make a motion that we stop this line of discussion during this meeting. This is not the time or place for it.
Do I have a second on that motion? No second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a second. This discussion on revamping the building ceased. So it's been, motion's been made. So
Can we discuss the motion?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
yeah, go ahead, Roy.
I understand the sentiment, but it seems that discussion is not on the agenda. It's the chair's prerogative to rule it out of order. We don't need a motion and a vote. That's just, and as soon as Chris gets off the phone, if he can't text Bain and get a response, then I think the meeting should be adjourned.
I agree.
So your hand up a while ago was,
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that, I mean, I agree with Walter. It's kind of up to the chair. We're here to discuss this. I think Chris just got off the phone, so I'll hand it off to him.
Yeah, so that was Galen, and they were waiting for a couple more numbers, but where they are right now, so going back to a metal building, so enclosed, no doors, reducing the pavement from I think it was 5 inches down to 4 with the 2 19mm or 2 inches of the 19mm, 2 layers, and one thing they did do that I think we ought to get attorney to review is remove the performance and payments bonds. Now they have insurance, but still, we always like to carry a performance and payment bonds, which basically says that if they don't finish, that bond would cover bringing somebody else and finishing it. Maybe that means that we just hold more of a retainage too, but I think that's something that if we want to consider, we would talk to an attorney about that. I don't know what that value is, but the other thing he was waiting for is he was looking at precast concrete panels for the deck that the trucks drive onto inside the building so they can dump. And he thought that was going to be cheaper than the metal deck and cast in place concrete deck. So that number they're supposed to have tomorrow. So with all of this right now, they're at 1.1
Okay.
with those changes.
Walter, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I just, Chris, what did you say about the performance bond?
So they have removed it. That's in the general conditions of our contract. And
Okay, so we should, in municipal law, that's not allowed. It's
Yeah, that's-
statute.
yeah, so that's what
we
I
should
thought.
check, and we're quasi municipal organization, so we need to talk to town attorney, or our attorney about that.
Exactly. So some other ways that we've gotten around that is, like I mentioned, we can hold a higher retainage. So the typical contract is 5%, but we can go higher, assuming they agree to it. Because the performance and payment bond, as you probably know, just what that covers is if they happen to walk off the job, that you can bring somebody else in and finish it and the bond pays for it.
Right.
I don't see that happening, but it's insurance, right? That's why we pay for insurance, is to make sure that stuff doesn't happen.
We just tried to reduce our Island Road costs by avoiding the bond, and town council said, no, 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 no.
Yep. So I honestly, I didn't even think to ask when I was just on the call with them what that dollar value was. Typically those are fairly high, but so again, without that, right now they're around 1.1. So it's getting closer. Obviously, as you know, that well, maybe you don't know, but that would not include the installation of Atlantic's equipment. It does include the power for that, but not the actual installation.
So Chris, is Blaine working on some sort of document,
Yes.
kind of like Paul suggested, like a document that kind of identifies these things so we can review kind of their breakdown of these things, and that's
Yep.
kind of what's in progress. They're just waiting for another number they're gonna have tomorrow.
Correct. It sounded like they had it pretty well ready. They just got to plug in this other number.
Okay.
And if you think, well, maybe I can make sure that they're going to itemize the deduction so that they would give us the performance and payment bond number. So that way, if we have to add it back in, we know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Walt. I mean, I don't think that's a great idea, but so I mean, they can include it if they want, but my sense would be we should keep that in there. Okay, and then there was one item about reducing the foundation for the scale. Did you say, Chris, that wasn't possible?
No, it is. I did talk to the scale guy. They don't really have a preference. So we could change that to an insulated slab detail,
And,
which would likely save a fair amount on concrete.
and is that one of the items that Blaine's already taking into
Nope.
consideration?
It's actually not. Nope. I'd have to get him that detail.
Okay,
I was kind of see where he came in first, and if it was close and we needed some more, then we would look at that as an option as well. Yeah, we may have to do a little bit of, like a concrete block retaining wall, not concrete block, not CMU, but like a precast short retaining wall to be able to make a slab work. But that would still be cheaper than the foundation that we were showing.
Where's my, we are getting close. That's going back to a steel building versus wood. That's a
Yep.
full enclosure versus just those roll-up doors and just the enclosure that Todd had. He did send that quote, I believe, for the installation of the hoppers and stuff. I believe that was the second attachment he sent. So I think we do have those numbers.
He had, yep, compactor installation.
Yeah, it
They
was
all say they all
68,000.
say.
It was 68,000 for the installation and shoots, and the balance was for the enclosures.
Well, he has 4 quotes here. One is 31,000. One is 60. Well, that one's not summed up. I don't know what that one is. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That one's almost 20. Oh, I see what he's doing. Oh, it's adding up. The 4th page totals it all. So it's $68,000 total.
Correct.
That includes the fabrication of the hoppers, the 2 hoppers, the power units, the installation of the hoppers, and the installation of the power units.
Okay, so we're getting really close.
So Bruce, he said he was going to send you. I haven't seen that. The cost of like the Harpswell setup.
That's part of this quote.
Yeah, it was $100 and something odd $1,000 for
118,000 all in,
Yep.
hoppers and building and roll down doors, except for hooking up the electric.
Oh, so that one I didn't get. The one I have is 68,000.
Okay. I can see that I get that to you in the morning on that one.
What'd you say it was, Paul? Around 100?
It was 118 and all
118.
in.
Okay.
I'll send it to you right now.
Yes, Al.
So I was just gonna make a suggestion, kind of, I think what would be helpful, Chris, is if you could kind of pull all these things together, including costs, but also schedule, like, talk with Blaine about like how long the construction's gonna take, and include that so we can kind of cohesively look at it, because it sounds like right now we're kind of, I agree with Bruce. It sounds like we're getting close, but I think it would be helpful for everyone just to kind of have it all brought together. And it sounds like by tomorrow, Blaine will be able to have those numbers. So it might be something, it would be great to get it tomorrow if that might be possible with your schedule.
Yeah, it depends on when I get it from them. My morning is pretty well booked, but I do have some time in the afternoon if I get it
Great.
sometime mid-afternoon. So,
We are getting
no,
extremely close. I mean, we just got to tweak this a little bit more.
yeah, it's right there.
And it really hasn't, at that point right now, it hasn't gone over what the original estimate was way back 5 years ago. So.
Right. Yeah, but we did cut. I mean, the doors and the pavement change. I mean, we obviously cut to get there, but
Yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we can plan the doors down the road. I mean, the pavement's probably not real crucial as long as we got a good sub base. That's the key. If the sub base is horrible and it starts settling underneath the pavement's going to warp with it. So
He did say, I mean, as we all know, oil prices are going through the roof.
yeah,
So
that's my other concern.
specifically with paving, I mean, that could jump anytime.
That and diesel. I mean, diesel is now shooting up fast, and everything over there that's going to perform this construction is going to be powered by fuel of some kind, mostly diesel.
Yep.
Skip, you got anything you want to add there?
No, I don't think so.
Ron, you've been pretty quiet.
Oh, I'm good.
Whoa.
No, I just want to see the total picture, and we don't have that yet.
So is everybody comfortable of just tabling this till next week when we have the hopefully better numbers, final numbers?
Yes.
Because I don't see any more questions or discussion here until we have them. So I guess we'll table them. So do you want to do Thursday next week?
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe, we'll wait. I mean, we can plan for Thursday, but I think obviously it's important to have that in front of us. So, hopefully if we can get it tomorrow afternoon, and we can have the weekend to sort of digest it. And then, I mean, even earlier in the week, we've kind of kept pushing off this meeting. And as, you just mentioned, fuel costs continue to go up. So as soon as we get that big picture document and are able to kind of look at it, yeah, but we could certainly plan on next Thursday, Bruce.
The only reason I kind of want to do that is I know we got several different people in the audience here that's listening in. They've been here quite regularly. So I'd kind of like to give them at least a couple days notice. So if they want to hear what we're doing, to see what's going on, how we're deriving at our decisions, they have the opportunity to be here. I don't want to spring a meeting on them within 24 hours if I can help it. I see Diane was here earlier. Some key players.
Agreed. Yeah, let's do that.
So why don't we schedule one for 6 o'clock, tentatively next Thursday. Hopefully, the numbers will be done and ready. We'll have a day or two to review those, and that will give everybody adequate notice that we're going to take this topic up again.
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like by then we could really summarize, now that I have Atlantic's numbers for the enclosure, what it is with the building without the doors. And then what it is if we don't do the building and do the enclosure. I think those are kind of the two options.
Yep.
So it sounds like, I haven't read through that, but Paul, maybe you have. Is that the only difference, the 118 to the 68? Or is part of the 68 also need to go with the 118?
The total, the 68 is part of the 118, the way I read it. He totals it at the bottom of one of those invoices.
Yeah, I just haven't opened and looked at that one yet. All I have is in front of me is the 68.
Right.
Okay.
All righty.
I will
I
make a
will-
motion to adjourn then, if there's no more.
Do
Is
I
that-
have
Second.
okay? All those in favor? Okay. See ya.
All right,
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Good luck.
thank you.
You too. Thank you.